Okay, so with this video I would like to explain to you, and please understand what I'm telling you right now. There was no Great Depression. What's told to you as being a Great Depression was in fact a hoax. Alright? Period. If your grandparents told you these fantastic stories of standing on the corners with the signs, then you know a liar. That's right, a liar. Because all the pictures that they show are contrived and staged. Don't talk to me about the math, dude. Just don't do it. All these charts and graphs, that's all gibberish. You can make anything look like anything. The fact of the matter is that there's been no sustained time back in this period or era that there were people on the streets and that it was soup and bread lines and the entire picture that's already in your head right now. Just what I told you, Great Depression. You had the idea of this where everyone's living. This one is supposed to be 32 years old, of course, with 7 children, all poised and showing you a made-up picture. The 7, the Zion, the mind weapon, the woman concern. This picture you won't get away from when you look into the subject because they only have but a few. So then you have the idea of the stock market. Even today, even with the idea of 401k, there are not a lot of people in the market, period. All right? So back then, there were even less. So this became the idea of a story, of the idea of a business bailout. The idea of how can we then take something, turn this lemon, self-made lemon, into lemonade, being that the lemon was the contrivance in the first place, the so-called stock market. This is nothing more than a perpetual motion machine. It creates something out of nothing. Quite literally, it creates spendable folding cash from general ideas. All right? Because what people buy is what is produced and put on the shelf, and then there is goods and services. There's money exchanged, salaries paid, and then there's something called a profit, right? Then that profit is above and beyond, and that goes into other areas, but that has nothing to do with the general business model, right? Until somebody mixes up and then mixes up the kitties and starts, misspending money. Do you understand the difference, though? I'm speaking, though, not on the human level, but just on the table, talking about this idea as in general. All right. So don't tell me about your uncle's business that went out because he couldn't spend the money. I get that, but that, as a general rule, is not what I'm talking about. There was no huge downturn with people in the streets walking around like this. Hey, Mo! I thought I'd never see you around here.
Oh, I was wanted a decent job.
Well, you're not gonna get it around here. Whoop, 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 whoop.
Yeah, okay. Even for 37-year-old family hoax war veterans.
No! Not even for a family man of 44. Best references. I'll do clerical or even manual. I worked for 3 years at Ford.
Oh, I'm paying for my home and college-trained native Chicagoan.
Look at me. I got my M&M. 33. Oh, they're so manly. Looking at them, going out to find a job so that they can pay their way in life. It's all a hoax. Never mind. Look at this. Oh, look at this. The Japanese. The Jew, the white, the spick, the mix, the moop. Here's the black guy. Of course, everybody all together. Look at this. Ah, here we go. Over here, we even got the Italians showing up. Everybody in line. Nobody causing any trouble over here. Look at here. We got even here. We got even a pimp in the line. Look at this guy. Look at these people. These people aren't getting in no soup line. You kidding me? Stop talking gibberish. Work or riot. One or the other. Dude, I see these people. Look at this. Look at these chumps. This is really happening. Oh, the police are guarding these guys who are threatening violence. This is all made up stoogery. Jobless men keep going. And then they have these stooges literally. What are they walking from town to town? Have you been around lately? Have you looked at the distance between towns? You just don't mope around between towns, man. Hands in pocket doing nothing. Masonic drill. Look at this. Joker hat. Jester. Irish and dogs keep off the lawn. Oh, here we go. Age 28. All right. 5'7". You're a liar. You're pushing it. All right. You're possibly 5'6", maybe max. 135 pounds? Yeah, if you're soaking wet. All right. And you want $20? Not for your lying butt. Stalked by a stork. Stork is time, baby. Stork is what brings you into existence. The 8 years experience. Look at how these signs are made. These are gibberish signs made at a professional type environment to give you a code. This guy will do advertising, sales promotion, contract, publicity, painting. I mean, anything you want. It's all made up anyway. Oh, we the Utes of today speak. Strike. 8, 2, 8, 19, 11, 12. That looks like a D. 13, 14, 15, 60. And or in the 7. And there's another one. 7, 7. Hoax, hoax, hoax. I know 3 trades, 3 languages, fought 3. Hoax war. War's a hoax. Strategic relocation, controlled demolition. Period. Nobody, no country has ever hit their people into uniforms, aimed their guns at other men from other countries, and shot them. It didn't happen. And if you claim that you did, you're a liar. And you are so far down in your disgrace that you would false witness to your own murder, you lie-filled sacks. War's a hoax. I've told you that. 3 children. This is like he's explaining the first few years with his first wife, man. And now I only want one job. Well, I'll tell you what your job is. Get out of my face. And then they have this all in brass. The idea of green with envy, because you know that brass is any type of thing like this. If this has a lot of brass or anything that or copper, anything like that, brass copper idea, where it corrodes or turns green because it's a manual labor intensive item that if you make something out of it, it constantly requires attention or it's going to turn on you. So they're giving you the idea of this. Nobody was working with the idea of giving you a statue that unless you work and you keep cleaning it, which nobody ever does, that it turns crappy. And they're all jade faces of ISIS and concern. No, forget about it. Nobody at all was affected by the Great Depression in the way that they put out at all, period. And let me explain that to you. There's always going to be poor people throughout all time, through all periods. At this time, there was no more than at any other time. That's what I'm saying. All right, let's make sure that's completely clear. There was no Great Depression. Beat it. With all your nonsense and lies. I will not tell you again. And this goes to all you other people who push this hoax economy nonsense. You're not supposed to be in there. Anyway. All right? That's not your place to be. That's not your world. This world is full of lies. Even on here. Even on here, the attempt made to kill. That's a hoax story. Hollywood fire destroys films worth millions. You know why it's worth millions? Because you destroy something that's not even there and you get insurance payments for millions. All right. Be free in Christ. And and the Comforter, the true living water, and peace of this nonsense. Peace in mind, because you can look at this and see that all this is 52 Paris hoax. They didn't die. All of these people who died with all these lies on their lips, all those murders are pinned to your souls. You better know that, sports. Great Depression, so-called, hoax. Hoax. Hoax.